Sky Athena, and in this video I'm bringing you a book review of the Six of Crows duology. Six of Crows duology is written by Leigh Bardugo and consists of Six of Crows, or List en Leugens in Dutch, and Kraai en Koninkrijk, or Crooked Kingdom. This is book 1, this is book 2. Leigh Bardugo has also written the Grisha trilogy, which consists of Shadow and Bone, Siege and Storm, and Ruin and Rising. Now, I've read part of this trilogy from the library as library loans in Dutch. I liked book 1, I didn't like book 2, and I DNF'd book 3. I didn't like where the story was going, to be honest. Now, that was some years ago, so I wasn't really planning on picking up any more books by Leigh Bardugo, but lots of people on booktube have really liked the Six of Crows duology. So when I saw that my library had the Dutch translations, I was like, well, okay, I'll give it a go. And I wasn't sure if I was going to like it or not, because I didn't really like the Grisha trilogy. Like, I liked the world, but I didn't, well, I can't remember, to be honest. It's been a long time since I read those books, but I didn't really get on with that series, so that's why I didn't have to. Anyway, oh, I hadn't actually said that yet. These books take place in the Grishaverse world, so in the same world as those other 3 books, that trilogy I just mentioned. Now, this first book is about a group of, well, it says here, a group of outcasts that go on a heist, basically. This series is fantasy and it is based on Russian folklore. Here is the map. And book 2 continues on from book 1. These books are quite heavy. It's hard to hold them up for a while. Now, lots of people have made videos about these books, so I'm not here to do anything bad on that. I'm just here to tell you what I thought of these books. What I liked about these books. I really liked the characters. Part of these books takes place in a town called Kerdam, and that's Ketterdam. I don't know how you say it in English. And this universe in that town, it's kind of like, I don't know how to explain this. There's like thieves and backstabbers, and let's just say people can be morally like not completely good or not completely evil, but more like a bit in between. If that makes sense. I'm not sure if you get what I'm getting at, but since I am, sorry, it's really hard to hold these books up. I am lawful good, if that means anything to you. So I don't always get along with characters that are not like that. It works for me when I'm in the right mood and mindset. At other times it doesn't work for me. Gladly though, this did work for me. I really liked the characters. The books had lots of twists. I will say, partway through this book, like I'm not sure if it was like in the beginning or the middle or something, the pacing felt a little bit slow. I was tempted to put it down. I doubted if I should even DNF it or not, but I was like, okay, I'll persist a bit longer. Then it got more interesting, so I'm glad that I persisted. But yeah, there's like maybe around the middle, in the earlier section, there's just the part where things move a little bit slower than I had wanted, I guess, or than I had expected. I had that in somewhere in this book as well, but I had made it this far, so I felt like I didn't seriously consider DNFing it. There was a day where I didn't read much. Basically took a break from reading, also due to personal circumstances. But anyway, I really liked all the twists that the author throws at you. I thought that was really good. Like, it kept you surprised, and yeah. I also liked that this series, this duology, discusses quite a few issues, such as mental health. There's various characters of color in here. Now, whether you need to read the Grisha trilogy in order to understand these books, that is a bit of a difficult question. I know that some people on YouTube have said yes and other people have said no. Now, I had read part of the Grisha trilogy, which is a few years ago, but I do remember bits of that, so I'm not really the best person to ask, because I DNF'd the trilogy, so I can't honestly recommend that you read it because I never finished it. But I do think it helped me a little bit understanding this world, even if I couldn't remember much when I started reading this. but things did come back to me a little bit. So I don't know, I'm not the best person to ask, really. But yeah, I am quite happy that I enjoyed these books more than the Grisha trilogy. I didn't DNF these books, I read them both. They're quite long. This one is over 500 pages and this one is over 600 pages. So they're quite long, and these editions are quite heavy, these Dutch editions. There were a few places where I didn't totally jive with the writing style. It could be the translation, I don't know. It could be the original. I can't quite put my finger on it on why that is. I can't describe, I don't know why. Sometimes it just threw me out of the story, and I don't know. And overall, I am glad that I gave these books a go, because based on my experience with the Grisha trilogy, I wasn't going to. And also, like, the synopsis and the covers is not something that normally appeals to me, to be honest. So this wasn't a perfect read for me. These books are really heavy. Can we just put them down? You can't really see them right now, but. So I struggled through parts of it, but I am glad that I finished it, because I really did like the twists and the characters. Some characters had more character growth than others. Yeah, I thought it was really clever how in these books things fit together, and like you think this is gonna happen and that's how it's gonna go, and then things go differently, and I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm trying to keep this spoiler free, as I do with all my reviews. I really liked as well the magic system in this world. That the magic system actually was one of the things I liked the Grisha trilogy. It was one of the things I did like about that trilogy. So I was happy to see that it played a role in these books. And I think they chose for these titles in Dutch with this ampersand to make them sound more similar to the titles of the Grisha trilogy. I like the English title of this one better, which says Six of Crows. This one says List and Leugens, and that basically means like tricks and lies. Well, trick and lies or something like that. Which, while it does fit, and it's a nice alliteration with the double L's, I do like Six of Crows. That makes much more sense. It's called the Six of Crows duology. In Dutch it's called de Kaaien. I don't know if you can see that. Not really. The Crows. So that also makes sense. And this one is called Kaaien Koninkrijk, or Crowing Kingdom. That would be translated as. In English it's called Crooked Kingdom. I am glad that the library let me read these, because I wasn't sure about buying them, because I thought it might, I honestly thought I might DNF it. And I did get close to that point, so. But I got to read them now from my library, which is excellent. And I didn't mind the translation, other than that issue with the writing style I mentioned. I thought that the fact that a lot of these like character and place names are, because it's based on, I think, Russian mythology and folklore, I think. I'll show you here is the map. And, well, I don't know if you can see that, but like the text, but a lot of the like names and stuff are not English sounding, which makes sense because it's based on Russian. So sometimes they fit in more with the English, with the Dutch text. If I read, this may sound weird, but if I read a book that is translated to Dutch and all of the names and place names are English, like American sounding, let's say, for example, like, so let's say they mention New York and very English sounding names, then that just feels a little bit off to me. Whereas in this book I felt it matched more, because the names and the place names and such were, they could have been Dutch. Like the word Ketterdam, or Ketterdam, I think is what you might call this in English, reminds me a lot of a Dutch town called Rotterdam. And so just like that, there are other names that, for example, the book starts off as chapter 1 with the point of view of Joost. At least that's how I would call him in Dutch. I had a classmate once with this name. So honestly, when I first started reading this, I thought, oh, have they translated all the names? Because that's not a name that I usually see in a book written by, is Leigh Bardugo from the United States? Well, it says New York Times best-selling author, so Does that mean she's from the United States? Either way, if she's not, I will put something across the screen, but I hope it makes sense what I'm getting at. And I'm making this review unnecessarily long, I'm sorry for that. So anyway, overall, I like these books. I didn't love them. Like, so many people on BookTube and also on Goodreads really love these books. And like, I like them, but I wouldn't say it's a new favorite because all of this like thieves and robbers and, well, these, I don't like the expression morally grey, to be honest, but that is what I was getting at. Like, that's just not quite me, if that makes sense. But I did like these books and I enjoyed reading them. I enjoyed the twists. I really liked the characters. Like I said, the writing style was a bit of a challenge sometimes. This one both had a little bit pacing issues in, well, I can't remember exactly when, but in somewhere between like in the right in the middle or a bit like a third of the way in or something like that. So yeah, I've probably rambled on enough. If you think the synopsis sounds good, if it appeals to you, if you like books about morally grey characters, even though I don't like that expression, to be honest, I really don't. But I haven't been able to figure out another good way of saying that. Like morally ambiguous characters. If you like that sort of stuff, you may enjoy this. But it's not for everyone. These are young adult, by the way. I didn't say that. It should be on the text on the screen, but I didn't actually say this. This is a harsh world though. There is like murders and, well, you know, so, but yeah. It's really heavy to hold these books up. I'm sure the originals are probably hardcovers, and they're big hardcovers at that, which is not my favorite format. But yeah, they're heavy. Anyway, I'm tired and I'm rambling. I like these books more than I thought I would. So that's a win as far as I'm concerned, for me personally. I know there are a couple of people who watch me and whose videos I watch who were curious what I would think of these books. So I don't know if those people are watching, but here you go. If you're watching, know that I thought of you. And yeah, I think that's about all I have to say about this right now. You know, I don't want to spoil anything. I was, however, spoiled for some parts of this by Goodreads and people on BookTube. One person, because there is a newer book in this world. I'm not sure how it relates to the books that are already out, but a YouTuber, a booktuber, mentioned the synopsis of that book in their video and thereby spoiled like something. And another person on Goodreads, I don't know who it was, they spoiled something that happens in these books. And so I knew a few things going into it, but gladly I wasn't spoiled for more than that, because so many people make videos about these books that it can be hard to avoid spoilers. I have specifically, I think, prior to reading these books, not watched any videos that were like 6 Across reading vlog. Unless the person specifically stated that they were spoiler free, like as soon as it started to go spoilery, I stopped watching because I didn't want to be spoiled for these books. And people make spoilery reading vlogs about these books, I suppose, because so many people have read them. But yeah, I don't want to be spoiled. I keep all my content spoiler free. On purpose. I prefer watching spoiler-free content. However, I will watch spoilery content if I've actually read said book or books. But when I haven't, then I don't. Okay. I think we've rambled on long enough. Liked it, didn't love it, but liked it. Yeah. More than I thought I would. That's a win. I already said that. I think that's just, I'm just gonna end the video. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope to see you in my next one. Bye!